We are officially recorded, um, or recording. Okay, so fives and 15s, that's not it. My eyes are becoming rectangles. I'm working on a new system and I'm trying to get my 100 trades in. And it's looking really, really good. A couple of tweaks I got to make to it. But it's with special indicators, so um, oh, come on. I might have to set it up again. Oh no, it was on Forex Brokers Inc. I think is where we were, right? Let's close that. And I don't see a chart here that looks like what we were working with yesterday. S&P was very kind to me yesterday, so I can't complain. I'm expecting like some really big long-term moves if they decide to. Come on. No, it wasn't Forex Brokers Inc. It had to be the other one because we've got that same account. What did you guys do yesterday? Did anyone trade?
Yeah, I traded a little bit.
How did things go?
Uh, it was going well at first, and then I don't know. Lately, I feel like I've been like over trading or something, and I ended up losing some money yesterday.
Okay. Now, why would you say you were over trading? What do you use as your warning for that?
I mean, one is I took a bunch of trades, and two, um, I don't know, like 2 days ago I did well, and I was trading, it both ways, which I shouldn't have, and so I got killed on like my shorts yesterday when I should have just traded with this trend and went long.
Uh, let's look at an example, a couple of trades you took, and just talk it through. That might be helpful. Can you give me an idea what pair and what time frame?
Yeah, well, actually, yesterday with Forex Brokers Inc., I've been trading the Nasdaq future
Okay. Wait, let me bring that up then. Let's take a look.
because it's actually got a really good spread. Like the Nasdaq was moving well yesterday, and I don't really have to pay a lot of commission on it or anything.
Oh, come on, don't tell me it's not in here. Oh, it's maybe because it's a demo account.
Did you try to hit show all?
Oh, no, I sure didn't. There we go. And what's the symbol for the DAC?
For you, it's the last one on the list. Is it or not anymore? It's the third down.
Yeah, right
Nasdaq
here.
December.
December.
Yep.
All right, so let's take a look at it then. This will be interesting because there are certainly more things to trade than currencies. Let's go to a 5 minute and let's go to a I don't know what method you're using.
I'm trading the B bands right now with the signals.
Oh, the Bolies. Okay, so let me
Yeah.
just throw the Bolies on top of this 1889. And what's your setting on the Bolies? I'm assuming it's a five.
Yeah, I think it's like the 511 or whatever you were using that one time.
Let me
The
just put.
512, 512. Yeah.
Okay, so Nasdaq, and what? This is today. This was yesterday. What were you using for trend?
Well, I have the 1889 on my chart.
That should be what this is, 1889. Um, And this is a time of day that we're normally together, right in this pocket here. So I'm trying to see what the let me open this deviation up a little bit. Uh, oh no, I don't want that. I want to go back to the regular deviation. Deviation one. All right. Does this look similar to what your charts look like?
Yeah, it looks like the exact same.
So as I'm looking at this, and again, the 18 is above the 89, and the candles are closing on the arrow above the 18. I'm trying to see what threw you off.
Where I fucked up. Yeah, right.
I was trying not to use that phrase, but since you put it out there, we'll go with it.
All right.
Because I don't
No,
see.
well, yeah, no, well, like my first couple were fine, and then I think I started
Well,
like
let me
going
let me
down
give you
to
control. You can show us where your trades were. Uh,
I just think that well I started taking 1 minute signals, and then that's where I started getting screwed.
oh, okay. So let's go look at a 1 minute chart then. Remember, I take the 1 minute based on the 5 minute trend. So I may have thrown you off in that respect. This is today. Because once I see like an idea happening on the 5 minute, then I'll go to the one to hand pick it. So this was yesterday, and you should have control.
All right.
Uh,
Well, I have control, but I can't move the chart.
yeah, you just did. It's a little wonky, and there's a 1 hour difference between us, right? You're in
Uh,
Chicago.
yeah, but our broker time should probably be the same if we're both on Forex Broker Inc.
Okay.
Um, all right. Um, do you just want to make me presenter, or
Sure, I can do that too. Yep, absolutely.
well, it'd probably be easier if I just throw my trades up on there.
Yeah, I'll make you presenter. All right, you're a presenter. All right, I see your screen now. All right, you're going back down to the 1 minute. I see. I see. I don't know what trade you pulled up there. That was the $7 win or the 7 point win. Are you speaking? That's a dumb thing to say if his mic is not working, right? You may not know this, Phil, but we can't hear you.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now,
My
now we
bad.
can hear
I
you.
was
Okay.
talking. All right. Yeah, I was saying that. Yeah, I paid $1 commission on this, so I got like a $6 profit.
Okay.
Um, and for my entry, I actually don't. I guess I just got in
Ooh.
late here,
Okay.
and yeah, that's probably why I just took this little bite. I just want to get a little piece.
Well,
Um, and then
Uh,
I bought on this signal.
you got in that very late, unless that was the spread.
I think it might be here. Yeah, see how it says 75? Normally the spread is either 100 or 75. So
Okay.
I think I got in here, and then you see how it says 100 right there? I think that was spread at the spread.
Okay. So 1 point.
So that was in our $3 trade.
Okay. Let's take a look at one that went south on you and see if we can see something in the thinking. You know, if you drag it up. Oh, let me show you something.
Here it is.
No, I just want to show you something. You see this
Oh,
little tiny triangle down here in the corner where my mouse is?
I don't see your mouse on my
Oh,
screen.
you don't. Okay.
Uh,
On the chart, you see where at the lower left-hand corner, you see where it says 18 November 2015? Yeah,
yeah, this thing?
yeah, grab that and slide it to the physical middle of the chart.
Alright.
Grab that little gray triangle and slide it to the physical middle of the chart. Nope, you're moving the whole chart. You got to grab that triangle.
Uh,
Hold that triangle down. Right. You see, okay, move it to the physical middle of the chart.
okay.
You got to do it again.
No, I think I did. Alright, that worked.
Oh, yeah, there it
It's
is.
right here.
Okay, so now every time you pull a trade up, it'll be right underneath that little triangle.
Alright.
All right, so you don't have to go back and forward looking for them. All right, so that was the 156 that yeah, let's drag one up that went the other way.
Yeah, that was here. It was just a very small loss I got out of. I was just I think trying to play some divergence or something. And it didn't end up working out.
Okay, well, divergence
The,
on a 1 minute chart will
oh wait, no, I bought there. I don't know
yeah, see that?
why I sold out.
Yeah, because your stop traditionally would go below that swing low.
Yeah.
And on a 1 minute chart, that would be within that, it would be within my 10, 15 points if you measure it. I don't think it was even that much. No, it's like
Yeah, well,
six
it's different in this, so it's like
six ticks. Yeah, it's times 100 is what it looks like here, based on what I see. Okay, let's take a look at another one.
yeah, I sold on this signal, I guess, and I got stopped out up there.
All right. Well, again, you were going against the trend.
Yeah,
Um, you did get
yeah,
a
don't
close
know.
below the 18. Remember, when price closes below the 18, its next trip is usually the 89 or the 200, and it did get to the 89.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you see, this was my take profit, so it like barely missed me, and
Right.
then it went up, and then my stop was above like this high then, and then it got me.
Yeah, well, on the 1 minute charts, you would have still been stopped out based on what I'm about to tell you. But on the 1 minute charts, you can certainly go to your prior swing highs
Hmm.
because they're usually within 10 pips.
Yeah.
Just measure that. I'm just curious just to see. It's usually within a 10 tick stop. If you
Well,
look,
I mean, what's 10 ticks on this, you know?
yeah, well, that would be five.
Five, all right.
Yeah, you follow me?
Yeah.
Because they've got that multiplier in there. But yeah, again, even having said that, it still would have the trade would have been stopped out, but it would put a lot more trades back in your pocket.
Yeah, and then I tried going long right here, and then obviously got
On a
stopped
one
out right
on a
away.
1 minute chart.
No, it was just 5 minutes. See how we got the signal right here?
Okay, and your stop was probably real tight. What was your stop on
Um,
that?
and there five. It was like I think I made it the 100 level.
Okay. Now, yeah, one
But
thing
I
I would,
but I mean either way I would have got stopped if it came all the way down back here, right?
yeah, that's trading. That's going to happen. But if you, so apparently you were looking for counter trend trades. The thing on this 1 minute trade is if you look at how far, remember how you get 3 to 5 candles in your direction,
Yeah.
and you entered after 6 candles long. I mean, it had almost no choice but to pull back.
Yeah, I guess when I'm down here, but like I don't know, I just thought that or I don't know, I just saw it go back long and then I went to the 5 minute and saw I had a fresh signal on the five. So that's only one candle on the five, so I just thought
Gotcha. Okay, now
I
that
could
makes
get
sense.
another.
But your
But
stop could have
it
been
just yeah, I mean it
stop could have
just
been a little bit
instantly
broader.
went back. So
All right.
but I
Uh,
guess like instead of just jumping in right there, I should have went down to the one, saw it was really extended, waited for a pullback,
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
got in here, and then I might have not have gotten stopped out then.
It's possible. Yeah, a little better thinking. But if that one is overextended, remember the same rules apply. I mean, you look at if you look over to your left, you see 4 long candles, a little farther over. Yeah, you see that 1, 2, 3, 4. Price has to
Yeah.
pull back. That rule is works on everything. Same thing with the short trades. You see, you went 5 short on a lot of these, and then it pulled back and went long again. Let's take a look at that 21. Let's see
Uh,
what happened there. This is what I used to do with the other class.
oh, so I did buy there then. I did buy again here, but
Okay.
I just I
Yeah, I
just
think maybe a 10 stop might be a little bit better, but you'd have to realistically expect a 10 profit out of it, which you would have gotten there. Now, I don't know the physical characteristics of the Nasdaq on this broker,
mhm.
but until you do understand them, I would only go with the trend.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
Mhm.
Because that looks like a really go back a couple of days because this looks like a beautifully trending market.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like I think it was like maybe this day I started trading and I did really well because it was trending. And so I just started to like it a little bit because the Nasdaq has been a little bit more volatile than I feel like the
Wow,
Forex market.
that those are nice looking charts.
Right? And they're talking about, and my commission and spread's not bad, so I just thought it's a good chart for me to trade.
So let's go to current time and see what's going on there.
But also, but it doesn't really start getting moving until the stock market opens, you know?
Okay,
So that
so
9:30 time of
all right,
yours
so then your question would be right now you've got a down arrow, or you've got up arrow actually on the
on
five
the
minute. All right, and it's bouncing off of the 89. I'm assuming.
yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the 1 hour chart, and I just want to see if it has room. So on the 1 hour, we've got a pullback going on, and the pullback should stop at that little lone soldier there in the yellow box.
This would be some divergence, right?
Yep, that's good too. Well, it might be a bit late to grab it.
Hmm.
If you saw it on the 1 hour, you could have jumped on it for sure. Yeah, that's
Are
a
these
nice.
24-hour charts?
They appear to be,
This
yeah.
is an hour. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not day
Those,
charts.
those are no gaps then between the days.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
MetaTrader 4 doesn't do that on the equities. And then now we just got an arrow. Oh no, you switch charts.
Yeah, we just got a short arrow.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. If that stays, then that would be a definite play back to the 89 as a counter trend with the divergence. Because remember, you've got the two. The divergence comes first, the arrow comes second. Remember, we saw that over and over and over again. The divergence comes first, the arrow comes second.
Hmm.
All right, let's take a look at a couple of others that you might have been confused over. Let's take a look at those $2
The euro dollars. Well, one I got a winner on.
Oh,
Part
what you
part
got?
of this was just because I was trying to trade the news yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So this was around news time that right after the minutes.
Yeah, gotcha.
So things might just look a little wonky.
Oh, okay. And they're break even, so it wasn't a you weren't killing the account.
No. But yeah, so yeah, that was news too.
Have you seen any idiosyncrasies with this broker?
Um, the only thing I've noticed that my other broker didn't really do is on like a normal 5 minute like open on the other side, sometimes like the candles don't like open and close at the same spot.
Oh, but
Like
based
do
on
you see
another
here?
broker.
Yeah, like see how that it like closed up there and then kind of opened lower,
Yeah,
and then like I feel like this broker does that a lot. Like see it closed,
there's a
this red
gap.
one closed up there, but then yeah, but then it opened a little lower.
Yeah, in a fast moving market, you'll see. That may not necessarily be indicative of the broker.
But during like news times, like the spread hasn't been too bad or anything like that. The only problem I've had with this broker is that some of the like I don't trade the GA anymore or like EA, like a lot of those like the Aussies or like the GC, the CAD,
Hmm.
the pound CAD, like my spread will be like 10, you know?
Right, right.
So like those are like way out of whack where I don't even trade them. Like you said, like I don't mind trading like maybe like some of these chefs go to like 4 or 5 I can deal with, but if it's like a
Right.
10 or 12 pip spread, I'm like no way.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but yeah, so then that's basically what happened, and then I kind of got a little bit back later at the end of the day,
Okay,
just
good.
taking a little bit more bites, but still I think I went down like maybe $100 yesterday.
All right. Well, you can certainly, get that back. That's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I haven't since I went live, I haven't been doing the greatest.
Well, that's kind of natural too because there's a different emotional attachment to live than demo.
Yeah, definitely I can feel that.
Yeah, and you'll get it. That's why, you try to stay with the trend and, that whole thing.
Hmm.
Um, and just not change the rule. In fact, I'll bring up yesterday's S&P chart just to show you. Let me
Do
switch
you want me
this.
to give you the screen back or something?
Yeah, let me see.
Or make presenter?
Okay, and then I'll look for okay, show my screen. Let me make sure I switch this over to demo so I don't get hammered again. I don't know if I told you guys what happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I farted around working, just trying to show somebody something, and ended up losing $1,000 because I didn't know I wasn't on what do you call it? This system. Oh well, these are my trades from yesterday. As a matter of fact, the lines are still here. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Yeah, this is today. Um, Let me back up. Man, this is just 1889. And I took little bites like a candle and a half, 8 to 10 ticks. Oh, come on. Boy, when you go from one platform to the other, your fingers just get all. And this was my set and forget trade here. I took a trade at 9. I had to leave, to go take care of some odds and ends family stuff. Came back in and grabbed this one. I drew this line and missed this one. Then this was my set and forget. And what I did here, you remember that pitchfork projection? Why can't I get rid of this crosshair? I got to do this, I guess. No. Okay. Anyway, I can't get rid of the crosshair. But what I did here on this wasn't the set and forget. This was the set and forget trade here. I, did the line through the pullback and then brought it from the center down to the swing low. All right, and then extended that out into the future. And I took, you see these grids? I don't know if you can see them. They're very light.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I did was I just took, instead of going for my take profit at the top, I pulled it down one grid. So at the close of this candle is when I entered, and that I could have gotten that, but I was happy with that. and plus the news was good, so it was it was a good day. I was kind of in a rush yesterday. I had like 90 things to do at one time. Um, uh, okay, so and then I think Mike had asked to watch me do the S&P, which we can try to make that happen. I'm working on I'll just show you some of the stuff I'm working on when we get to special indicators. This is a Renko system. These are mean Renko bars. I don't know how familiar you are with that, but this has been very, very good. I don't have my 100 trades in yet. I only have a couple of trades on this. This is one. Then I'm working on one with the 5-minute chart on FXCM, I think. That's this one. This one, I had about 30 trades in and fucked up and had to re-download the whole broker and all that. So that kind of ticked me off. But this one is also very good. But I don't have my 100 trades in yet to say that, okay, this is a real system. You get me? So as soon as I do that, I'd like to introduce this to everybody because this looks very simple. But these are all special indicators. You can only use them on MetaTrader 4. And I'm trying to connect with a programmer that can switch them over to NinjaTrader or multi-charts. And that's kind of what I do one of the things I do when you don't see me here. You got to keep building. Don't stop building is, my whole thing. And this indicator stopped working. You remember this from the dashboard from last year?
Yeah.
This really has me upset. And it could be because we're on the new build. And I can't find the EX4 for it, which is the other thing.
In the MQ4.
Yeah, the MQ4. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of you guys has it.
Lou, I think you just gotta add the suffix in because it has no suffix or whatever that thing's called.
Um,
The file name or the file type.
well, yeah, this doesn't have a suffix in it that I could tell. Let me move this out of the way. Yeah, you see, it's just, pound cat H1. There's no suffix or prefix.
Oh, I see. You're talking about for me.
In the settings.
No, there's a period after that. It's pound cat dot.
Oh, you know what? Let me try that. I didn't even realize that. Dolly test. Suffix would be a dot. Whoa. Suffix. I'll be damned. Thank you for that. Now it's propagating.
Yeah, no problem. I had to do the same for my broker, so.
You see how dark that is up there in that corner? Oh, if I put this back up here, you see the black background of the chart, you can't really tell that that's a dot and a comma. Okay, wow, that's excellent. Okay, good. Thank you, Phil. Extra bonus points for you for that today.
Thanks. Hopefully that goes into my trading.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, by the way, I do have the MQ4 files for that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, if we could drop it in the not the Pip Factory room.
Yeah.
And then I can grab it. How are you, Nancy? Okay, so I want to.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, so like I said, just sticking with it's funny, the NASDAQ, the S&P looked very much like your NASDAQ, Phil.
Excuse me? You were kind of breaking up there.
Oh, I said the S&P yesterday looked like your NASDAQ.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a nice smooth trend and everything. But again, I just didn't try to really change much. I tried to stay with the If the direction was long, that's the only way I was looking to trade it. Until,
Yeah,
you know,
I need to like really grind that into my trading.
um, it would really help. In the beginning, yes, definitely. And in the beginning live, definitely. We never got a consensus on opening up that live account. Um, but the offer is still out there when guys collectively figure out what you want to do. Uh, where are we now? Let me just start scanning for trades here. All right, so here you see we had a downward sloping stochastic, and we had a number of nice trades off of this. Here was trade one, but keep in mind we have to wait for the red candle, which happened later. All right, here's trade two, wait for the red candle. Here's trade three, wait for the red candle. Here's trade four, and this had double confirmation, bounce off the 18. It should be an 18. Come on, yeah. Oh my God, I get wonky with these platforms. I'm going to start looking into stocks too, trading stocks. So I signed on for a service that offers ideas. Here was our short trade here. Let's go back up here, 10 pips. Yeah, more than safe. All right, so we don't at the moment have anything here. Aussie, New Zealand. If anyone sees a pair, and when we scout around like this, Nancy, sometimes we do miss trades because I'll say, okay, I'll come back to that, but then by the time that 5 minute candle ends, I might be looking at something else completely different. Hey, do you follow me on that, Nancy? Okay, she's not answering. But when I
Hello,
showed you,
yes.
yeah, and when I showed you the S&P chart, if that's the only thing I'm looking at, I can't miss a trade. I can only mismanage it. Um, that's a potential trade right there. In fact, that actually is a trade. We're a hair late. It's only 1 pip late, but we have a downward sloping stochastic. We've got and you know what? I jumped the gun because I have to wait for this candle to close red, and it didn't. It was red when I took it, and I'm talking and not paying attention. But I should have waited for this candle to close red, then jump the trade. So I'm into this earlier than I should be. Let me move this up here to 9. Now there's our shelf right there. All right. Well, here's a better shelf right here, and that's what I can't see how many pips that is. I guess that's foreground chart. But right in there, and that's about 9. Let me just put this here and put chart on background so these numbers will show up. Okay. So now let me see what happens here. No, why can't I put this on top of these candles? It's something I haven't had to do this in a long time. You know what I mean? These candles, these numbers should be on top of the candles. All right, that's incidental. That's not a deal breaker at the moment. But you see what I did? I made that mistake of not waiting for this candle to close. Yeah, it's an aggressive entry because of the wick, and that wick is giving me a clue that it could go short. But the proper way to trade this is to wait for that candle to close. So if I get burned on it, or if the trade doesn't work out, then there's no question as to why. Let's just go looking, and we're at the end of yesterday's range. So again, jumping too fast, there are a couple of key things I didn't pay much attention to. And that's just being human. Let's look at pound yen. Oh, let's look at the CAD yen first. So CAD yen. CAD yen, we're pretty near yesterday's range. The yen is considerably stronger than the CAD, so at this point, this should start to rise. But because we're so massively oversold here, I would prefer to see this. Whoop. Oh, where's that drawing thingy? This would be a good time for it. I would prefer to see this come up like that. And then I may take what would, in essence, be a counter trend trade. But if this is going to turn, because we're at the pretty near yesterday's extreme, and I got to get rid of this pen. Okay, so that's CAD yen. Let's take a look at Chef yen. This probably has a similar look. Thank you for sharing your charts, by the way. In the other group, that's what we did. We reviewed everybody's trades. Took forever and a day, but the learning curve was like off the chart. I'm looking for Chef yen, and this doesn't give me Chef yen, or am I just blind today?
No problem. It really helps me out too to go back and look at it.
Okay, so let's take a look at pound CAD then. Start there, pound CAD, pound CAD. That makes perfect sense. Pound CAD, we're long, but I need a hook up. Okay, so here was our hook here. And that would have been our entry right there. But we're past that, so now I need to see another hook up. Now this 211 is extremely fast. You can broaden that out a bit. If it gives you better signals, you may get fewer signals, but there'll be better signals. Also, when we look at some of the other things we did, if we look at the 1889, they were just like all over the place here. This is kind of like shooting fish in a barrel almost. All right. But we're not trading that at the moment. So what we're looking for here is a dip back down into this oversold, and then possibly a turn back up, and that might offer us something. There appears to be a little bit of room to the top. Oh boy, it's pound CAD. And the news about the interest rates were very, very friendly. This looks like a nice short trade setting up. We had our hook here. So our entry is at the low of this candle here to take that short. We can either take it here and take the ride back on the pullback, or wait for the hook down. But this is another decent looking trade here, and this is Aussie Chef. So there's Aussie and Chef. That makes sense. But this should be going long, but right now that it's giving us all the appearance of a short trade. And I'll take that. Jump too late. It skipped a bit. And we'll see if we can get a tiny bite out of this. But the Aussie CAD, based on this, this pair should be going long. Now we'll see if this is going to make a big 1, 2, 3 down here or something. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie. Both Aussies, both sells, so we're okay in that respect. Let's take a look at Aussie New Zealand. And all right, that started to move in our way past the spread. Let's squeeze this down a bit. I didn't put in what do you call it in here, did I? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. So we'll keep an eye on this, see what happens. The one I'm concerned about is the Aussie Chef. Let me bring the Aussie Chef up here, only because it appears to be a little bit of a counter trend. 2.7 spread. That's about where we should be right now. Yep, sure is. I like this candle. That means we may get another long candle, short candle after this. Oh, it's the stock market? No, it's not the stock market. All right, I've got my stops. Oh, shoot. One of these is jumping. Aussie, New Zealand. Let me see. Where are we? This is Aussie, New Zealand. Let's get the close order going. See if it'll creep down a little bit more. Looked like it jumped up to about a 6. That's getting pretty close to our take profit too. There we go. And now it's just going to freeze there. Should we go for the Darrell effect or what?
Hey.
Well, there it's past my take profit point, and I'm going to take the 6.5. And let's go back to the Aussie New Zealand. Let's just mark that so I know where we got out. I know this is going to be the Darrell effect, and I took it because it tagged the pivot, came back in. So this may come back up above the pivot. The pivot may act like a floor. Then it might struggle to come back through again. But now the other one we have is the Aussie Chef. Let's take a look at that. And that's another one that's kind of long in the tooth. I'll take the 2.5. And I'll mark that. I'm thinking that, and the reason I took this 2.5 is that we just closing below here. But that setup played out. I jumped the gun a bit on that candle, as I said, but overall it did play out. All right, so now we're back to 4,900. I just want to get back to 5 is the goal. Let's take a look at pound yen. Let's go. How much was this drop down here? 17 pips. And right now that's about 18 pips. So this may turn around on the assumption that these longer legs are about the same length. But that remains to be seen. Let's see what we have here. So anything against the CAD right now looks good. I don't know what's going on with the oil. Did the oil have anything dramatic going on? This could be a potential short trade here, even though we've got a bit of a Christmas tree in this corner because we have a downward sloping stochastic. The only thing I'm not completely thrilled with is that I would prefer to see this stochastic below the 50 to take a short that's got some energy in it, because this could be a pullback in the uptrend, if you got me, because we're still technically in an uptrend here. All right. All right, so anything with the CAD in it, let's take a look at CAD yen. And yeah, we looked at this earlier, and I'm not sure, I probably said I was going to come back to it and didn't, because this was our signal right here. And here, Phil, is where the 1 minute would have played in. So if you see that this is going to be a potential signal, you mark that, and then you go down to the 1, and you want to see the same kind of setup on the 1. You with me on that? And then here would have been your setup here. This closed below the 18 and the hook.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So let's go back to the 5. And that kind of already took off, so I'm not chasing today. CAD, anything with the CAD in it. Euro CAD, let's take a look at that. And Euro, that's a good one too. And again, our stochastic is still generally long because we're above the 50. And when it slopes down, by the way, it doesn't mean that the whole market's going to go down. It just means that from this point to this point, we've got a pullback in the up market, because as long as this is above the 50, you're in an up market. As you can see here, We are above the 50 at this point, and you see we had this dramatic pullback, but this long-term RSI never closed below that 50. So all of this just represents a pullback. From here to here is just a pullback. So that's kind of the same situation we have here. And we got a hook here. It's kind of a long candle to go in on. And how much is this? That's 39. Wow, it was a nice move. And that's 32. So this may turn around here right at this R1. So I'll hold off on that. And this, if this closes a red candle, then that would be a twin tower, which would signal that the next candle could be a red one also. All right, but nothing here, you know, to jump on at the moment. We got a 4-pip spread. So that's all that is right now is the spread. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Yeah, we got all this going on up here. We would need to close above this on the 1 hour. All right. So that could end up being a bit of a wall there. Let me measure this again. Oh, well, we're on a 1 hour. So that was 76. And that was 50. All right. So we may get a little punch up here, but I don't see anything compelling yet on a lower time frame to jump on. All right. Dollar CAD. We're sideways and we've got a Christmas tree, so that makes sense. There's that 3 candle pattern. All the candle bodies are inside this candle, and the next candle was a long candle after that. And this market, the bias on this market is still long. All right. So that would be the way to play this until this comes down here and closes below this 50. I'll still play this long. Now with this system, you know, you get pretty decent high probability trades. It's just that you may end up walking past good trades on that you see on other systems or on other setups or on other candle patterns. So the idea with the system is to learn the system and trade only the system until you get the nuances out of the way. And this is a twin tower candle, by the way, too. Opposite color candle, the higher wick. So that explains this red candle right now. Okay, CAD yen, I think we looked at. Okay, and that had that, and this is still basically short until this goes up above that. But we don't have a hook yet. And even if we got a hook, we'd be 3 candles deep. So I may wait on that. Aussie CAD. This one is still long. This is trying to give us another entry here. Well, this gave us the entry here, actually, on this candle. So that's already gone for all intents and purposes. And we still have this R1 up here like we do on that other CAD pair. So we'll see if we get above this. Let's go take a look at a 1 hour. Price trap here on this guy. Okay. Let's take a look at pound CAD. CAD's gaining some strength back. CAD's at 150 now instead of 0.6. And we've got piano keys here, so we know that that's, you know, not going to be much to look at. And you see this has been over bought for a while, but the market continues to go up because if you look at the bottoms, we've got higher lows. That's the indication on this stochastic that we're still in an up market because we keep making higher lows. All right. So there's no reason to think otherwise. But we don't have it set up anyway. Let's take a look at pound dollar. And again, that's been sideways all night. And pound is 4. They're kind of close. So anything here would be a slow, choppy trade. And the bias on this for the moment would still be short. Let me squeeze this in a bit. It would still be short based on this system, by the way. All right. And if I put a trend line out here, go from there. I like to split the difference. We're just right now breaking this trend line. So, if this closes and retests and then goes back, that's not part of this system, but just talking the price action through. And we could end up with a fake out where this closes long and the next candle comes right back in here again. Let's look at dollar. Let's look at euro dollar would be another pair. Wow, that's dramatic. So I'm looking for a short trade here. This is curled up a little bit, which is good, but it's not broken through here. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. And we got a big, ugly range in here on the 1 hour. See that? We've been locked in here. What, 40 pip range for 14 hours. So nobody really knows what's going on here. 40 pip range for 14 hours. That's stuck. At least it tells me not to shoot for a large take profit if I take the trade. You follow me? But my bias on this again would be short at the close of this pin bar. This might be a good scalp short here. So, but we still need to see a red bar. We don't have a red bar. Now you see that's our hook. You see how that hook is set in here, Daryl? See how this hook is set now based on this close?
Yeah, Lou, I'm clear on that.
Oh, okay. Just when I see a chance to kind of reiterate or reinforce it, that's all. I'm not picking on
No,
you.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
All right. So I'm looking for a red candle now. And then we would have a decent shorting opportunity, at least into this middle in here, about 10, 12 pips. Oh, there's no 9:15 news, right?
No.
Yeah, euro's gaining strength here suddenly. Maybe one morning I'll put up some of the websites that I used to frequent that would give you some of these incidental news. Like there may be some other thing like European auto manufacturers or something like that, stuff that you don't normally see on Forex Factory. And very much how our ISM markets may not, our certain reports we have may not necessarily rock the rest of the Forex world, but they have a bearing on our stock market. So if Alcoa misses its profit target, the stock market will see it, the Forex market maybe not so much. However, in other countries, things like their automobile or their manufacturing or something like that could certainly affect that currency. So I'm looking for a red candle basically on the euro dollar. That would be a decent opportunity to go short here. And while we have the time, we can put our trend line in right there. And that's pound, that's euro dollar. Let me move that up to the top of the list. We're not in any trades at the moment. All right, that's good. And this is going to make one hell of a, what do you call it, candle? If this closes red. And why did it stop there? That's the next thing I want to know. Let's squeeze this in a bit, see where that's coming from. Probably this area right here, this lone soldier right there. And let me see how far open can I get this to see if that's a fake out. Yep, sure is. closed above it, came right back. So that's a solid area, and that's where we are right now. So that makes sense. Let's go back down here, open this up, go back here. Still need a red candle though. So we know what this area is from. All right, it's a fake out from farther back. So we'll sit on this for a minute. Well, it's up at the top of the list. Let's just see what else is. Dollar yen. Let's take a quick look at dollar yen. Bring that up here. And bias on this, based on this, would still be long, even though this is curled down. We're above the 50. All right. So a long trade here would give us a decent pullback, at least to this area. And a small spread, that's not bad either. All right, but we'll see. Now, again, here on this, I need to see this go below here before I take a short trade. Let's go back to euro dollar. Nothing there. Dollar yen, nothing there. Let's check pound yen, bring that up to the top. Pound yen. I move these around so much I get the okay, same thing with pound yen. We didn't close below this low here. All right. So this could give us a decent pullback. And we did have a counter. No, we didn't have a counter trend trade. Almost had one where we had a bit of divergence. Let me pull this up so we could see it. We had a bit of divergence here. Well, that's essentially flat, maybe slightly down. And here. So that would have been a good counter trend trade. And then, you know, Phil, you'd mark this and go down to the 1 minute. We'll just do it and just see what it looked like. Go down to the 1. And then look for a signal down here on the 1. That's a pretty decent looking trade, as a matter of fact. This would have been it right in here because our RSI at that time was still below the 50 level. All right, so as long as it's below the 50, you have to think short. And that's exactly what it did on the 1 minute, which was cool. Okay, so let's go back to the 5 minute euro dollar, see if we get a red candle yet. Nope. Oh, that's a long way, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. Dollar yen. This could be our hook up here. But that S1 there could be a bit of resistance. Pound yen. At the close of this candle, this could be a quick scalp. It's got a 5 pip take profit. I mean a 5 pip spread. Let's just see what else. So we did the 3 bottom versus the 3 top. Oh, look how fast the dollar just fell. Euro dollar. Let's go back to euro dollar. Dollar just tanked for some. Oh, well, stock market's going to be booming. Or I assume it would based on that news about the interest rate. The market is expecting an interest rate hike from the Fed, and they're pretty much okay with it. They would welcome it because it's a sign that the economy is going to be doing pretty well. But nothing there anyway. Nothing there at the moment. This is pound yen. Let's take a look at pound dollar. Pound dollar, that was our hook. And I can't believe these pound dollar and euro dollar ranges. That's just Now, I don't know how much of it has to do with all those guys Citibank fired. Citibank fired a bunch of currency traders for lack of performance and for price rigging. So I don't know how much of what was going on there, how much that plays into the current market's restrictive ranges.
Just recently?
Uh, June, July, August.
Okay.
It wasn't all one straight shot, but if you do like a Bloomberg or just search like something like currency traders fired or something like that, you'll see you'll see the origin of all that nonsense. Okay, we're still waiting for a red candle here, and we don't have one yet. I'm still waiting for a green candle here and don't have one yet. This would have been a beautiful 1 minute trade. And pound yen, we have we're waiting for a green candle on pound yen. We don't have it yet. That's a hell of almost a twin tower, but that's a hell of a signal that this thing is that it should drop. Let's look at the pound dollar.
Pound yen. Pound yen is tanking, I think.
Well, it looks like it with this candle wick. Certainly does.
It's very much weakened, like the dollar yen.
And the yens tend to move in unison much more so than the other pairs.
Yeah. Euro yen is resisting, though.
Right.
Yes. Has resisted so far, but it might join the group.
So now, if this pops up above this 50, then I'd want to go long this stochastic. So we got a couple of trades this morning, but and again, I usually trade this on a 15-minute chart. I need to say that again. And this could give us a scalping opportunity to the long side on the close of this. So that was pound yen and dollar yen. So now it's a matter of the beauty contest. Which one of these charts looks the best? Pound yen or dollar yen? Dollar yen has a smaller spread. So between these two, I would look at a quick scalp on dollar yen, but let me see how far is it to this lone soldier. It's only like 7 pips and about 10 to the top. And we'd still have to break this, but this would be a signal here. Let's take another look at euro dollar. Do we have our red candle forming? Yes, we do. So we can look at a short on euro dollar and a long on dollar yen or pound yen. And I'm leaning toward dollar yen because the smallest spread. But when I look at where this is likely to stop, it's going to be somewhere in this pocket. Okay, and there's our hook setting. And we need to wait for the next candle because I'm not going to take the aggressive shot on this. Let the candle close. And it should be closed in a minute. I've got so many charts open with so many alerts, it just sounds like a holiday musical when they all start going off at one time. You know, I don't know what's the name of those bells that they play on a table. You ever see them? A girl in like a German outfit has these bells and she picks them up and rings them 2 or 3 at a time and they make a song out of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now I'm leaning more toward pound yen here now, more so than euro yen. only because that's in itself is a railroad candle. But we'll see. That's a railroad candle now, and this is solid red up here. So this looks like it's got a little more room to travel up into this region. And euro dollar, we have to wait for the new candle. See if there's anything else in here. No, we did the top three against the bottom three already. Let's take a look at Aussie dollar. Okay, same thing. Aussie dollar is looking at either this point or this point. Okay, euro. Again, that railroad candle. I'm not. See how it's tagging that S1 and coming back? And we don't have any divergence here to kind of back up we've gone lower in price from here to here, and the same thing down here, lower in on our oscillator. And on the yen, same thing, lower, lower, lower. So we don't have a divergence here. Okay. I'll take that sell. We're looking for a little bite. Let's take a look at this dollar yen. That pulled back quite a way. Let's look at pound yen. Pound yen will be the way to go. That 5 pip spread is just, but I'll go with it. So we have a euro dollar and a pound yen. So let's put pound yen up here. Let's go to euro dollar. And now this is the sticking point. This is the key thing here, this shelf here on euro dollar. Let me just put a mark here so we can watch it. I would like for it to break below that shelf and give us a couple of pips. And pound yen. Okay, made an attempt up there. Okay, a lot of, stock market opened a couple of minutes ago. That will have something to do with all this. Let's go take a euro dollar since the markets are going to reflect that interest rate situation. Let's take a look at that Aussie dollar again. There it is. Okay, both of these are definitely moving the other way. This looks like it's stuck. The Aussie dollar, that shouldn't be stuck if the dollar's moving. There it is. Wow, it's just real slow. All right, let's go back to euro dollar. And it looks like that shelf again. I didn't put it in a stop loss there, but I need to let this make this top wick. And pound yen has got to make, it's not making much of a bottom wick. It's still trying to crawl up. All right, just have to let it unfold. And I need to put a stop in here. This was a sell, so I'm going to go Just about, what is that? 13 pips right to the high. Yeah, I'll work with that. That's within 10 plus 2. I can live with that. What was that box I just closed? And let's bring this down here for our take profit. Bring it down here to this shelf. And I'm talking about this right here. All right. It appears that it's made its top wick. We'll see what happens now if it comes below this shelf and makes its way down to the second one. Let's go back to pound yen. Still trying to climb. We might not get much out of this pound yen at all, but I'll take whatever it offers. We were dealing with a 5.5 pip spread, which is a bit of a handicap. But
You need to see how many dojis it formed on 30 minutes.
excuse me.
You need to see how beautifully it stacked up on 30 minutes on pound yen, and then it just took all that out.
Oh, right here, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see. So this looks like a logical area here for this pullback to hold up right in there. Let me just put a mark on this and come back to the 5 minute and take a look. See where that is in relation to everything. Oh, right in here, right? All of these lows and all that kind of all makes sense. All right, let's take a look at euro dollar again. And it's still struggling with this top wick, but we did not trade above this high of this red candle, so that may be good news. All right, let's go back to pound yen and see if this is going to try to give us something. And we did trade above this high, which was good. And let's assume this is going to make a bottom wick. Let's take a look at euro dollar. That's going up again, making a top wick. Well, it's in a long market, so it should make the bottom wick first, actually. All right. Nothing to do there but to watch. And if this starts to go dramatically against us, then I would just bail on it and just take a smaller hit than the stop. Let's take a look at pound yen. It's trying to creep up a little bit. And it keeps inching up toward our break even. And it's fighting this area right now. We've got time to watch. All right, let's take a look at something else. Let's see what the New Zealand dollar suddenly popped up. So let's see what's going on there. We got a couple of pips on this pound yen. Let's get the close order ready, because that we had so much going against us. If I can get a couple out of this, that would be a victory. But we'll see.
Mm.
1.3, I'll take it. With a 5.5 pip spread, you can't push your luck. It looks like it would have tapped at 18 and gave us about 2 or 3 pips. But you see the thinking in the whole thing. You know, where we at that time this was still above the 50 at the time we took the trade. So that was the premise behind that.
Okay.
Go back to euro dollar. And again, it made another top wick and did not get above this high. So this may give us a couple of pips to the downside also. Ooh. And again, at that time, this RSI was still had not crossed above this 50 level. And that was the basis for the trade. And we're waiting for a red candle, which we're getting now. Okay, open up our close order and we'll just watch this a little bit. It's got to break through that shelf. And that the shelves have been giving us a headache the last few days. There we go. There we go. Keep going. Now, this would logically stop in this area, I would think, on the pullback. Let's see if we can get a couple out of this. It's a lot of work for, just a few pips, but that's, the nature of the market today. 2.8. I take 4.5. All right, so we're at 9:15 now. Let's look at the account history so I can see what actually happened here. We didn't make a ton, but we didn't lose anything, so can't cry about that. All right, so we're at 9:15, and this is slow when you're trying to rebuild from a drawdown. Oh, let me put this shelf in here. Now that we have this shelf could be a place to take a long scalp because now we're above the 50 on the RSI. Everybody see what I'm getting at?
Sorry, say that again.
The RSI is now above 50, which would be, for me, would be an indication of a long trade setup. Okay. This shelf is where, remember I was using the shelves as a stop loss?
Yeah.
And price would tag the shelf and keep going, tag the shelf and keep going. So now that we're out of the trade, I can take I'm going to try to take an aggressive long trade at this shelf. You follow me?
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens here. I may end up giving something back.
Almost confluencing with the 18 anyway.
Excuse me?
It's almost in confluence with the 18.
Yeah, well, the way these the way the XY coordinates are on this, the next candle will be here roughly, and then at the close of this candle, this will shoot forward pretty much. You see how it matches the wick of the candle?
This is slow. I don't know. It's slow somehow. It's not coordinating.
What was that?
I mean, the vertical line came very, very slow. I mean,
no, right. What I'm trying to. Oh, I see. You mean there's a delay in the platform?
There's a delay, yeah.
Okay. So I won't draw a bunch of lines. But what I was getting at was that the next candle will form pretty much where this yellow marker is.
Okay.
And then this 18 will extend right here and touch this yellow line there at the close of this candle.
And that's R1.
So by the time it does that, it may be in more confluence with the with this shelf here.
R1.
Well, R1 is down here. Right now it's in confluence with R1, but watch when the candle closes, you'll see what I mean. This is going to come forward and touch this yellow line. And then from there, should we decide to take a scalp, we're now above the 50 on the RSI. And this is now a pullback in what is maybe a new confirmed uptrend. So let's wait for this candle to close and then we'll take a stab at it. Everybody understand what I mean about how these things are going to coordinate at the close of this candle? The new
Yeah.
candle will form right there. This is going to come up and touch that, and we'll have confluence pretty much of the R1 and the 18, and we'll have a set hook.
Shit. You know what? They changed. There was news at 10, but they changed it and they had it at 8:30. So no news.
Okay.
That's what that alarm was for.
That's your news alarm?
Well, that's an old phone that I have that has a great reminder feature. So.
Oh, okay.
Remember the Trio?
Wow.
Yeah, you do, huh?
Did you get an Atari with that?
Shit. When the Palm Pilot first came out, a year or two later, they came out with a box you could add onto it, about the same size and weighed about 4 times as much. That turned it into a mobile phone. I had one of those too.
Oh boy.
I was Joe Cool back then.
I remember seeing a Danny Glover movie where he was a detective and the hot thing was showing off his mobile phone. He was standing on a bridge with what looked like a small suitcase with a damn cord coming out of it.
Yeah.
All right, come on, candle. We got a long way. Oh, there we go. So now you see what I mean? How that yellow line touched that based on that XY axis?
Yeah.
All right, so now we'll take an aggressive long trade here.
Okay.
And let me pull my stop down to, I'll go right here to this shelf. That's 14 pips. Okay, I'll leave it there for now. But this is already 3 or 4 candles deep, so we should get a bit of a turnaround. And let's put my take profit up here at 5 pips, since this is kind of a little aggressive. And I can take this off so we don't have that clutter. I can take this off so we don't have that clutter. And we're looking at this as our stop now, and this as our potential take profit. And this should be the general area in here where price should turn around. I'll mark it out like this. Right in there, right between this 00 and this shelf. It could come in here, dance for a little bit, then maybe give us a long trade. But that's essentially how you, at least how I would set up an aggressive trade, because I've got a lot of information telling me it's time for the market to turn around. Temporarily, anyway. And let me go. I just want to take a look at these S&P. Okay, so that was my okay. Okay, I don't have anything yet. Okay, so this is going to move slow. I'm sorry, guys. I was looking at the other chart. I didn't mean to leave that much dead air out there. Let's take a look at Aussie dollar. Since they're at opposite ends here now. Okay, so we have an upward moving stochastic, but it's still below 50. So the thinking and bias on this would still be short until this closes above this 50. All right. Then I, start looking for long trades at that point. And the reason for that, and let me close this in, is that if you look at this, This doesn't cross the 50 very often. It crossed long over there, it crossed short over here, and as you can see, both of those opportunities, both of those crosses provided decent trade opportunities in the direction of the cross. Same thing here. This crossed here, and market did go down, but it did have a nice pullback, but about a 9 pip. So if our 10 pip plus the spread, we'd still be in decent shape. All right, that's why waiting for that to really confirm is important. Euro dollar looks like it's giving us a little something here. Let me open this up. That's a little bit too far open. Oh, well, this is that gray area. That's where we expect this to stall out and possibly go in our favor. So that's what's going on there. And that's between this double zero and the top of the shelf. All right. What were we looking at? Aussie dollar. Let's just go back to Aussie dollar. And all right, so same thing. I'm waiting for this to close above here. Then I'd be interested in a long trade. Is what that's all about there. Let's look at New Zealand dollar. And I'm still looking for a little bit faster CMS. This is okay. The Crescendo is pretty good because it's based on CCI and it's really quick, but it tends to be a resource hog.
The one that Michael gave me.
Oh no, we're not at our stop. I saw this thing tank so hard.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. The one that Michael gave you.
Oh yeah. It does move faster. I don't know. I mean, it's more okay. So like the one that you have up there, that's based on a daily chart, so that's why the moves are pretty subtle. But the other one, it will tend to move and kind of lead the way. So I guess it might be based on who knows, maybe an hourly or something like that. Maybe not an hourly, but maybe like a 4-hour or twice daily. I don't know, but it's quicker.
Okay.
I'll stick to it.
Yeah, please do in the Pip Factory, and I'll take a look at it. Because when I have a system that works, I'm not quick to change it, but I will change. I do change on occasion when something just proves itself to be better. So I will certainly take a look at it. And I'm like way behind on these courses I paid for. That's the other thing I have to catch up with, but maybe on vacation I can do that. All right, so now this is starting to turn in our direction. And let me just see something here. I don't want to really do that. Usually what happens when we have something like this on this drawdown, when we get like a clear candle the other way, I add to the trade here. And I ended up with 2 positions going up here, but I'm not going to do that now. Because sometimes I can create more questions than anything else. And that's Daryl's thing is to add on.
Yeah, I'm in the dollar peso right now, and it tanked big time. So.
Oh yeah.
It's but it only moves so many pips, and I mean it's kind of like very predictable in some ways.
What broker is that on? I know I don't have very much on this at all. No.
On the Oanda proprietary platform, it's not on Oanda MT4, and it's also on FXCM. So.
Oh, I've got a couple of FXCMs.
Yeah.
This thing doesn't stick.
So that's where I put all my indicators and everything like that, and then I traded it off of the Oanda's proprietary.
So this looks like it's trying to turn around in this box. which is, what I don't want to say predicted, but it's how we thought the trade through in advance. I want to bring Aussie dollar back to the top here and just take a look at that. Oh, it's sideways, so there's nothing much we can do about that. All right. New Zealand dollar was the other one. Okay, same thing. We're sideways for all intents and purposes. With a bias long because we're long here. So at this hook, this could make a long trade here at the close of this candle. We have an upward moving stochastic, and we have a hook setting, and we're waiting for this candle to close. And that's a New Zealand dollar. We only have a 2-pip spread, which isn't so bad. There appears to be room to move. We did 80 yesterday, only 50, or only about 60 today. So at the close of this candle, which will be 10 o'clock, this could be a decent trade. And we're sideways, which means the next candle, if it does go long, will go long pretty hard because we're coming out of a price trap. And you see what happens when we break out of these price traps, it tends to really take off. You see that price trap, boom, we're out of there. We've got a similar situation here with this. And again, that's going to be our long trade. All right. It caught me with a 3-pip spread. And it's frozen again. All right, let's move this up to the top. Let's go back to euro dollar. Oh, it's still trying to climb back up. It's just slow. And we'll try to grab a couple of pips on each of these if possible. And I've got some more house cleaning to do today. Even though we're going away, we're expecting some visitors before we go, so I got to make the place look like humans live in it. Let's put in a...
You're showing your domestic side there.
Yeah, well, can't run from it. My wife did it for years. Many years. So this is kind of my way to give back, say thanks, however you want to put it. Yep. Should I put the stop at this shelf, Nancy? This shelf right here?
Oh?
Yeah, I'm going to put the stop at that shelf. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know.
Okay.
But if we break out of this price trap, this thing should go right to the R2. And it's got room based on yesterday's range that it could do it.
I thought we said a pip or two below the shelf.
Yes, we did.
It hits the shelf and then goes
right.
back to the same.
All right. You know what? I'll bring it down to the wick. That makes it 13. So this will be Nancy's fault now if this doesn't pan out,
Oh, yeah.
All right. So again, these are just really slow, but you see, like, we're only trading by the rules. Once we get above the 50, we got a hook that was set. This is our trade. It's the same thing we do with everything else. Trade by the rules. Stay with the trend. In this case, the only thing we're using for trend is this slow moving RSI signal. All right, keep going. And it should hit this 5-pip level here. Let me get this close order button ready just in case it tags it and starts to run. And it's got to give us 7.5, it looks like, by the time it gets up there. Zealand. Oh, New Zealand dollar. Hang on. Let me close this and go look at the newsy. And wow, New Zealand dollar's up there. You know what? Oh, it closed. The New Zealand dollar is, I guess I got my profit on the other one. New Zealand dollar is at 10 and that closed. Damn. All right, good. So we're at 950. Okay. And again, we didn't alter the rules. We stuck with the rules. And, we had a good day. All right. So we had that one day that, we don't get many days like that when everything we touch kind of goes the wrong way, but that's just, the nature of the beast. But today we had a decent day, all winners today. All right. And modest lot size because we're just trying to get back to where we were, and then we'll bump the lot size up once we get back to 5,000. Were there any question? Oh, and also, as I mentioned, with this price trap, when prices finally break out of here, they tend to really explode up, and you see that right here on that one big candle. And the same thing happened here on this one big candle. You got me? So now, long term, we could expect a move of about 20 pips or so. Oh, and it did it already. 20 pips, okay. Wait a minute, let me measure that again. Something I did wrong. Oh, 30 pips, I'm sorry. Yeah, so this could go up here a little bit higher. It could crack this R1 and go up a little bit higher. All right, so a good day on that. Let me oh, JJ Big Trend. Oh, I have that already, but you know what? I'll take it again, Daryl.
Well, that's the MQ4s.
Oh, for the well, the MQ4 is the one I needed was the one for the multi-pair.
Oh.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. Let me okay. I have a folder for our room. Here it is.
And I'll just put it in there. Included a screenshot of the settings that I use.
Okay.
For Michael's currency strength meter, because otherwise it makes the font really big and it sticks it right in the way of your one-click order in the top left.
Okay.
So yeah, you can use that or change it to just kind of give you an idea.
Yeah, I'll experiment with it. Okay, so just to summarize again, we stuck with the rules of the system. We traded in the direction of the larger stochastic. And I'm glad we had a couple of trades pan out because the stochastic was below or above the 50 at certain points until the close of the candle. But we didn't deviate from the rules at all. And, it gives you fewer trades. But if you pay attention to the indicators, you get a very high hit rate with it. It's just patience is the key with this one. All right. So we'll try to trade this again tomorrow, and hopefully Tuesday we'll go into another scalper.
So in summary, we're looking for the thick red line to go in the direction of, above 50, whichever the direction.
Right. Now, I want to explain that carefully. You see that over here, we crossed the 50 here. Oh, doo-doo.
This thing is delayed. Yeah, okay.
What was that?
Yeah, okay.
All right. So now
right.
Now that we've crossed the 50, we're looking for all of our crosses down at the bottom here. Okay? Until we cross below the 50. Right here. This thing didn't until we cross below the 50 right here.
Okay.
All right. Now in this case, let me see here on this cross long, we come down here. Our 10 or 12 pip thing is just about here. This would have been very close, but let's assume it would have been a losing trade. Fair enough. Because I would usually come out 13, and this is just outside of the spread. But I'd rather call it a loser than say it was a winner. Okay? And then we had the next one here, where our hook was set, and now our 10, 12 pips is way down here someplace, and we're off to the races. We could hold on to this for whatever length of time we want. All right.
Okay.
Now, in this case, our stochastic is below the 50. So now we want this cross down, this cross down. Both of these may not have panned out. Okay. And that's trading. It's just going to happen. I generally, the best trades are usually if you get your price above the 18, but I don't like to really look at that often. And now here we crossed above the 18, and we have crossed above the 50, and now we're long again. So the key with this system is patience. Wait for the candles to close. I jumped early on one candle, one of the first trades, but fortunately the market cooperated. All right, and I'll go over the rules again, Nancy, from the beginning for you.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, now here's where it gets tricky. You see how this is curving down? You would tend to think you want to take these. These are counter trend trades. The only time I would really get involved in a counter trend trade on this is if I have some divergence to back it up. But I don't really have any divergence here to back this up. So I'm still looking for a long trade here. Oh, in fact, this was a long trade right here also. And 10 pips is down here somewhere. So this long trade would have worked out. And this long trade would have worked out. So we would have had the one trade that was a possible loss, which was this one. Okay, because you see that's 11 pips here, and if I'm usually like 13 or 14, but I'd rather call it a trade that didn't pan out. And we had two winners right after it. So even 2 out of 3 is still 66%. You can't really complain. All right.
Okay.
So I will see everybody tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions or anything, just drop them in the Skype and I'll get back to you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, thanks, man.
All right. So long,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
All right, bye everybody.